Hey there, this is my first YouTube video that I'm going to post, and I'm a lot into knife sharpening, and I just thought I would bring you in on sharpening one of my knives. I was doing some whittling on some ash wood earlier on in the day with my Buck Omni Hunter, as you see there, and it's pretty dull right now. I mean, I got it not too long ago, and I've been whittling with it, and it could use some sharpening, and it's got some rolling of the edge right there, and it's pretty sharp, but it needs some work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this oil on these stones here. I've got the Smith's Tri-Hone stones, and it's got the coarse and the medium and the fine stones, and I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on this like so, and I'm going to show you how you can sharpen up your knives basically with some stones, and show you what I do, because I've gotten some pretty good results with my technique. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and place it down on the stone just like so, and I'm just going to bring it towards me just like that, using my other hand as a guide kind of along the stone, and just using the weight of the knife just like that. And I'm going to do this several times. Sometimes I will actually take the knife and just go at the sharpening like this, do it 5 times in that direction, and then 5 times back this way, and then start doing the method that I've got going on here. But it's not really that sharp or that dull right now, so I'm just doing the one side at a time method, just like so. And I'll do this for a little while to get this straightened out. And this buck knife wasn't all that dull to begin with. Like I said, the edges just rolled a little bit, so I'm just going to straighten this out, and then put it on the fine stone, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do from there. On this side, you can take it, do the thumbnail test, and you can hear it, the edge rolling. It's sharper on one side, so it's kind of curved, so I'll take a little bit more time and straighten that out just by sharpening on this one side. Maybe go a little bit higher on my angle to remove that burr. There we go, that feels pretty decent, and it needs it up here some more. Okay, that feels pretty good, and didn't feel like it needs it much more, so I'll just take a couple final passes at it. There we go. Now that feels pretty dull, or it feels pretty sharp actually, and it feels like it's not all that curved anymore, and feels like it's ready for the fine grit stone. If I didn't tell you before on this first step, I was taking it to the medium abrasive, a 600 grit medium stone. Now I'll flip it over and start on the finer stone, which is a 1000 grit stone, which is gonna take off just a little bit of metal, not all that much, and it will be a little bit sharper than it was before. And like I said, it's not going to need very many passes at any more of the stones that I'm going to show you from the medium, because like I said, it's not all that dull to begin with, but it does need some sharpening and so on. There we are. And that is feeling pretty good. Although there is just a little bit of a rough spot back there. Again, I'm just using the weight of the knife, maybe using a little bit of pressure to kind of help get some of the rough spots out in this edge. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I usually take and do a figure 8 movement on the stone, on the tip of the knife. And what I'm going to do is that on this finer side, just like so, just a couple seconds, just like so. There we go. Now that is pretty aggressively sharp. How you can usually tell when you do this is when you take the knife blade and you put it on your fingernail, whichever one I usually use, either my ring finger or my middle finger. Just take it and put it on there, and if it doesn't slip around, like sometimes you can take it and you put it on there and it slips off, then that means that your blade isn't sharp enough. But when you take it and you just put it on there like so and try to move it forward just least little bit, it will actually grab your fingernail and it won't allow it to move until you put a greater amount of pressure and force into it. And my blade is grabbing my fingernail right now, so I think I'll finish up just a couple more passes on this, just to make sure it is really, really sharp for my final stone. Okay, now I'm going to take these Smith stones and get them out of the way. And here I have my very fine grit Arkansas stone. This is actually a family heirloom. I don't know what grit it is. All I know is that it's smoother than this other stone here, the one that I just got done using. So I'm going to take and I'm going to do the knife on this, and then the rest of it I'll explain later. And this is just a piece of a computer mouse pad, and I saw this on another YouTube video, and I decided to make one. And you just set it down on your wood or whatever surface you're going to be sharpening on, and I put the box and the stone on it, and when I'm sharpening it doesn't move a whole lot. The stone doesn't move around. So that will work for me. Again, just a touch of oil on the stone, rub it in, get off my hands here. Okay, I believe I'm going to start on this side. And just going about it like this. I always use lubricants on my stones because my dad told me when he gave me this that they would use oil on it, and you're either supposed to use oil or water on a stone, and if you don't use oil or water, then you should not use oil or water for the first time unless you are going to keep adding oil and water each time you use your stone, as it's not good for it to just use it with oil and then without oil from one time to another. There we go. That feels pretty sharp right there. Maybe slipping just a little bit, but not enough to make me think that it's not a good sharp edge on there. Okay. Maybe just a couple more finishing passes. I usually do a couple finishing passes just to make sure that the knife is really, really sharp. Okay. Now I'm going to take the knife to this. It's just a standard kitchen steel rod with a plastic rubber handle. I don't know what kind of handle it is. But maybe wipe off the blade just a little before I begin. Get that metal off of there. Now I'm just going to take it and do like the stones and do this. There we are. Usually doesn't take very long to get a knife pretty darn sharp on a steel like that. I hear that ceramic is better, but for the kitchen steel, I would say it works pretty good. Okay, I've got my knife sharpened on that, and it is very sharp right now, and that's my last step before I actually strop the knife. So now I just have a piece of leather. It's a piece of belt material because I'm into leathercraft, and I made a belt not too long ago. Just found cut off a piece of it and just oiled it up just a little bit. I don't know if the oil actually helps or hurts, but I put oil on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it down at this angle and just rub the knife edge across it a few times. Maybe 10-15 times back and forth on each side. And what this does is it removes the burr from the sharpening, and it polishes your edge and makes it shaven sharp. Okay. I don't know if that was 15 or 20 times. I really wasn't counting, but the edges feel pretty even except for one spot. And if my edges aren't even, I usually just take it and strop it real good on one side 3 or 4 times. Yeah. Okay, this is ready for the shaving test. I have just a little bit of hair on my wrists. Yeah, it shaves. It shaves, so this is a really good and sharp knife, and it is way better than it was before. So I'll strop it just a couple more times just to finish it off. And really passing the fingernail test. And that edge is razor sharp. You could depend on this out in the bush to do whatever kind of tasks you ask it to. And anyway, just a good knife to work with. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you out some. And see you on another one.